Hello, everyone. My name's Damien. Got a scarf on today because it's cold here in Sydney. Nice winter's morning. Uh, Growing up in Canada, you'd think I'd be used to cold, but whatever. For those of you who are following Gabrielle's classroom, the last one that he did was the one-story timber framed house pre-design. He doesn't actually get into the nitty-gritty of the design, which is good. That leaves that up to you, but just shows you the process of going through the design from a structural engineering point of view, kind of looking at the architecture and looking at the structural engineering. What I wanted to do is show you how you can do the same project, but use Radial as a guide for helping you through the design process. Basically, what it is, Radial kind of gives you the stepping stones to go through the design. So I just want to show you how you might use this project as a sample project inside Radial, just to guide you through the process. And stick around to the end because I have a little cute little thing that Radial does that I think you'll really enjoy, and how I used it during the process of watching Gab's tutorial and kind of then using it to populate sections of Radials and the work map. So here's Radial. This is kind of a sample workspace that you might have. Um, I've got some other projects in here, but the project we want to look at is the one-story timber framed house. And I've set it up as a template. I'll explain to you why I set it up as a template, because it's not a real project, but I'll give you a download that you can use to bring into your work map and use it as a template. So I recommend bringing it in and using it as a template. So if I open this up, and what this is, once you go inside, you can see these sections. And what I've actually done is copied some of Gab's notes into the design brief. So if you followed his video, you can see where this comes from. I love the quote that Gab said: "A correct calculation will not save a layout that doesn't make any sense." And I think that's a driver for getting the preliminary design right. So there's a bit of a brief. In here, you'll put the response, and here you'll put just general message centers. But where the fun lives is inside the structural engineering design. And these are the things that Gab kind of goes through as he goes through the project. And I filled out a few of them. Gab hasn't finished the process yet, so hopefully you can download this and fill it out as you go along once I show you how you do it. So we usually start with, or the process that we usually follow inside the work map is that we start with the design uh, loads. So these are the dead loads. Gab didn't specifically say these, and that's something for you to figure out. What are the design loads? Then there's the imposed loads. We generally use two loads, the KPA load and the point load. This is for the floor. If you check this presets, you can also look for other loads that you might use here. Another one that you would have would be the roof live load, and we usually take that as 0.25 kPa. So this is a place where you add notes. The next thing we do is the wind loads, and I've kind of taken a screenshot of what Gab did within the tutorial. And one of the main things to take away is that it's N3 wind classification. So, and we have a specific, if you look inside here, this is where we specifically calculate the wind classification. We usually use checkwind or spreadsheet and get the actual loads rather than using an N category, just because it's more precise. But for the purposes of this, using the straight out of AS1684 is as good as any. So those are the loads we go through. The next things we do are the roof, and as Gab kind of went into, these are proprietary timber frame trusses. The other important bit of information is the pitch of the roof. And you'll also see, if you haven't set this up, tell me, because this is really fun. And that is that there's a beam designer embedded straight inside Radial. You can use that to the beam designer, but separate tutorial on that if you want to watch that. So those are the roofs. The floor, Gab hasn't done the floor layout yet, so please put things in here to as we fill out as he goes through that. Then there's the walls, so there's timber frame walls, and we make the distinction inside Radial as to what walls are and what lateral stability are, so don't confuse the two. I actually like keeping them distinct. There's me making notes to myself about getting help. So this is where the lateral stability lives. So don't confuse walls, because the whole system is a lateral stability system. So that includes roof diaphragms, floor diaphragms, lateral stability walls, bracing walls, etc. And again, there's some nice presets here that you can use to help you through that. I like to make the distinction between whether you're using a core diaphragm system and a distributed frame system. I've got a guide on that if you need to understand what the difference is, but it's very important to make the distinction because some people get confused about using one and the other. And we have a place for shallow foundations. So basically, this is all that for a basic house design like this, these are the items that you need to follow. And as I said, this guides you through the process of doing it. So as you follow through Gab's video, fill out this information. One thing I wanted to show you at the beginning and how I use Radial is that I use the chat function. So as I listened to Gab's video, I made notes. And you can, so I just add a note here, like timber frame floor, for example, and it makes it as a note. And what you can do, which is the really interesting, is you can actually go here. So this is for the timber frame roofs, and you can go roof. So see what it says? It says provide a timber roof trusses, gang nail trusses. I'll click on that, and it says copy to roofs. So if I actually go to roof now, you'll see that it's been copied from the chat to the notes. If I don't, this is saying that it's come from the chat, so often I delete that, but it's just a way to transfer your notes from a meeting. So I do a lot of Zoom meetings, as you can probably imagine. I sit in the meeting and type into the chat, and then after I'm done the meeting, I go and move all the different bits of information into all the different items that we have. So yeah, download the file that I've uploaded into your Radial and follow along as you go through Gab's video in the second part and see if you can follow through and make notes. You can add whatever you want in here. Often we add full calculations into the notes so that somebody else can do it. And of course, don't forget to, once you've finished the task or once you've completed the task, check the verification, and that will then take it to your career ring. So it'll say, okay, I've completed these tasks, which is a really powerful tool that you can use to keep track of your learning. Okay, thanks very much and have fun listening to Gab's video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.